Hey guys, this is Chad here. Thanks for tuning in to watch this tutorial. It's a bit longer than I had thought, so if you don't feel like listening to the whole thing, I'll include a link, say right here somewhere, to a walk cycle tutorial done by Virginie d'Anouvillier, I think is how you say it. But very short, very easy to see, and I recommend it. It helped me with my cycles when I was learning. So check that out if you don't want to sit through a long tutorial. But anyways, I hope what I have to say helps. Go ahead and leave some questions in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer them as you have them. So let's get started. What we have here is a cycle I did in my demo reel. This is actually referenced from Ed, Edd n Eddy. It's one of my favorite shows. And the thing you got to know about run cycles is it is a cycle. And so what you're going to do is he's only going to take a couple steps, and that's it. We call it a day. But the magic about it is if you loop the video, then he runs forever. So really, they're not that difficult, but there's a process to them, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So right now this is a very fast run, but if you notice, I'm going to go ahead and grab his hips. If you notice, we start here on the high position of the run, and we end up here. But with every run cycle and every walk cycle, what you're going to want to do is the first and last frame of every cycle are going to be the exact same. So right here we have 1 and 15 is going to be the last frame on my cycle. If you take a look here, they're the same. So what that means is when your cycle is all said and done, take away that last frame, and it'll come nice and cozy into that frame, and it'll cycle through. Okay, so the key to cycles is to work in layers. We're not going to animate in full poses. We're going to start with the hips, move to the legs, and then arms. The trick is to just do it one by one and not overwhelm yourself. So I like to start with the hips because it's the main portion of his body, and it's going to be moving the rest of his body. Another tip to keep in mind is to it's not required, but it'll make it easy on yourself, is to either start on the high pose or the low pose of the cycle. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead and start him on a high pose and key. And remember from before, the end of the cycle has to be the exact same, so we're going to key those hips again right there. One, two, three. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is come halfway through, which is going to be right here, and we're going to key that again. So right now we're not even moving it, but we have some keys set up. What I'm going to do now is right here between 1 and 8, I'm going to put a 4, and this will be his low pose. Put it like right here. We're going to take that same pose and put it between these two keys now. So what we got now is he's just bouncing. Just like so. Now it looks goofy, but that's going to be the setup for our cycle. I'm going to go ahead and get to work on these legs here. Since we started in the up pose, this is going to be the pose of his legs where he's flying through the air. So this may not look very pretty right now, but I'm just getting through so you understand what I'm talking about. And keep in mind, I keyed this pose right here at frame 1 in our process. It's going to be the exact same at frame 15, so we'll go ahead and key that for both of these. So if you look, our poses are the exact same. I'm going to go halfway through, and he is taking a step halfway through the cycle. So what that means is these legs are just flip-flopped. Alright. Now halfway between is the down pose. So that looks weird. That looks weird, but that's what we're posing for. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, so what we get is you can kind of see you're starting to get something. We'll go ahead and do the same. Put this guy on the bottom. We'll key it. And this will mimic what he was doing before. Okay. So if you look, we have a very basic run cycle. Slow it down for you. Okay. Okay. So I went ahead and added in a couple more poses. It looks a little something like this. It's a little freaky. Let me go ahead and play blast that. So he's only taking 2 steps, but if we loop it, he's running forever. Alright. So you can do it however you want. I mean, these poses are still the exact same. Couple keys is you want to make it look like he's running on a treadmill. So right here in my grid is my treadmill. See right here at this contact point, let me put that up a little bit. This contact point, his foot is here. When he moves, it's consistent. It's moving all the way back on the treadmill. That'll make it look like he's running on the ground. Same with this foot. Contact, and it moves back on the treadmill. Another thing to keep in mind is when your foot plants, it's going to smack the ground. And so I added a key right here. I'll go ahead and delete it. So before, he was contacting, and then he had this pose back here where he's going to jump right back off the ground again into this pose. Thing to keep in mind is without that key in place, it looks kind of ugly. So what I like to do is just go ahead and get rid of these feet attributes, and we're golden, just like so. Alright. So, I mean, look at reference to get this type of style of run you want. Obviously, if I'm going to keep using this example, take a look at Ed, Edd, and Eddy. They're 3 very different runs. I'll include a link, or you can take a look at it and see what I'm talking about. But every run is going to be different. You're just going to create it to make it your own. But after we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy. Because when you run, your hips aren't straight. They're not going to stay stagnant like this. So what we're going to do is when his legs are nice and parallel with each other, like this. then this part of his hips is fine. So we're going to go ahead and key that right here. Go and find another spot where they're parallel, like so. We'll key that. That looks good. But if they're outstretched like this, hips don't do that. They're going to have to pull one of these. Go and key the last one because it's got to stay the exact same. Now, my pull vectors are right by the hips, so they're going to look a little crazy. We'll go ahead and just pull these out so it doesn't look so weird. And we'll key here and key here. Same with this pull vector. Like this. Okay, now we're good. That makes it easy on us. Okay, but if you see, his hips are moving where the legs are dragging them. Okay. Another thing with the hips is when his feet land, we got to make it look like this guy has weight to him. So he's landing right here. The weight of his leg, or the body, is on the weight of this leg. So his hip is going to go down because it's getting pushed up right here because he's putting all his weight right here. Right here we're fine. I'll go ahead and right here we're fine, and we're pressed against the weight of this leg. Now we're fine again. Now this leg is going to contact. So his hips have to come up like so. Anyways, we're going to move on to the arms now. Now, arms are easy. I'm already in an IK setup with the arms, so I'm not going to worry about it, but a lot of people like to use FK because it's nice and good for rotations. That's really all it is his arm's going to rotate like this with the legs. Really not too bad. If your run is crazy like my Ed run in the demo reel, then yeah, it'll be different. But generally, you work in arcs. And it's really up to you how you want to create it. So I'm going to do this one arm and show you what I got when we finish this. I'll go ahead and show you a finished product. But you see his right leg is forward, so we're going to put his right arm back on this pose. Okay, and we key that. What we got is, it looks weird. That's why we do the in-betweens, so we can make it look like an arc. Okay, right here his legs are kind of together. So we'll go ahead and grab this arm, and we'll make this the bottom of our arc. Like that. His hand is being weird, but his legs are together. So we'll put his hand on the bottom of the arc. So you can kind of see what I'm going for. A little swing down. His hand is doing something funny here, but you see what I'm going for. Now this might be a gimbal issue. Go ahead and show you this right now. Right here. What you do is go into the graph editor. Right here. And I'm going to grab the rotates on this hand. Right here. They don't look, well, this might be our problem. What you do is curves, Euler filter. Yeah, it looks like it fixed it. It's a nice little tool. Okay, cool. So you get the arc. I'll go ahead and do that for the other hand now. Alright, so I went ahead and animated the other arm for you. Looks a little something like this. So we got a very basic run going here, but it's okay. Looks awesome. So now we're kind of getting close. Now that we've got our base in, we can go ahead and start adding in a couple details, like shoulders, for instance. Now, as he's coming down, his shoulders are going to be going up. So you probably won't notice this because it's such a fast run, but it'll make all the difference. Right here, he's impacting the ground, and he's starting to come up. So his force going up is going to cause his shoulders to drag back down. So, like that. So, and now he's coming back down. Now he's going down. That force is going to cause his shoulders to drag right back up. And so on. Keep in mind it's all the same, so I'll see right here. His arm, these poses are not the same. And it looks like it's a pull vector problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this key over here, and we're good. Okay, but I got those shoulders animated now. Nice little details. Another thing you could do is some drag in his hands. So since this hand is coming like this, it's going to be dragging behind him. It'll make everything look a little more fluid. So here we're still dragging. And now that it's stopped its curve, it'll fling up like this. And now we're coming back down. We're going this way now, so his hand is going to be dragging this way. So that's very fast, a real fast run, but you can kind of see the drag. Go ahead and keep it going here. So these are nice details that are really going to make your animation stand out like that. And you can go ahead and animate fingers however you want. We'll say this guy's in a big hurry. We'll just ball his fingers up into a fist. Keep it easy on ourselves. Nice and easy. Okay, more detail. I like to add in some little toe flops. So, his foot's coming down, in an arc like this. His toe is he's gonna be dragging until it does strike the ground. Then we'll be zeroed out again, right here. So we're dragging, 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 hit the ground. Right here, the arc is coming up like this, so we can feel free to drag down like this. And now, at this point, coming back down again, so we'll pop them back up. And now the full force is moving forward like so. So we can even exaggerate it. We're gonna go all out on this. Now he's up. And we're solid. Okay, I'm gonna keep these poses the same. So yeah, you can see what we're going for here. Okay, before I forget, go ahead and animate the back, because your back's not going to stay straight when you're running either. I mean, it might. If you're double D from Meta and Eddy, then that would be the case. But for this example, no. So it'll be similar to what we did with the hips. You're going to go opposite of what your arms are. So we'll find a good extension point like right here. Like that. Alright, so you see what we're going for here. Your head's not going to be crazy though, so we'll go ahead and counter animate. So we'll keep it straight ahead. So right now, it's kind of looking awkward to the side. So we'll keep him straight on here. Come on. Come on. There, so his head is always looking forward. He's focused on his target. So yeah. Alright, thank you for sticking with me through the tutorial. Take away this frame because we don't need it. And enjoy what you've done. It looks weird. But enjoy what you've done. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe below. It makes me feel totally awesome about myself. I'll include a link to my website. You can check out my work. Go ahead and leave any comments for suggestions or critiques. I'm always up for them. And I hope this helped. I'll talk to you guys later.